Hey guys and gals, now we're here from Drinkwing Gaming and something about on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Temptation's Ballad. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go! Alright. There was a rustle, as though Marrow was shaking his head furiously. No, Hamish, I'm being serious. I need to talk to you. About us. The bed creaked as Hamish quietly sat up. The room was quiet, the room was silent. The two men exchanged wordless looks, their expressions like an open book to the other. About us. The spotted hyena repeated the words in his best calm and stern tone. But this Hamish was younger, less practiced. The edge of fear bled through the crack in his voice. If it's about the guild company, I've managed to get all the paperwork sorted out. We've been getting more recruits by the day, and our reputation's been growing. No, that's not what I... Your family, then? I know I said that we should never go back to that blasted manor, but if you really wanted to visit your sister, then... Hamish. The bed creaked once more as Marrow sat down next to his partner. The larger hyena held Hamish's hand in a comforting squeeze before pressing a firm kiss to his knuckles. Hamish. Hammy. Hamster. I don't like hamster. Is it Hamish? Okay, I guess it's Hamish then. Love of my life, mood of my skies, the most beautiful man in the world. Don't start again. Marrow chuckled finally at his love's exasperated tone. Hamish did his best to sound unimpressed, but a smile tugged at his lips and the fear melted away into a tiny sliver. The tiniest sliver, but still ever present. Hamish squeezed his hand tightly, fearing the moment he'd finally let go. Marrow inhaled and weighed his words carefully. I want to talk about us, and how much I still love you, and how I want to spend the rest of my life growing old with you. But... Marrow shook his head firmly. No buts. I wouldn't be the man I am today if it weren't for you. Hell, I probably wouldn't even be alive. I was a miserable and spoiled little lordling rotting away in that hell house until you swooped in and saved me. Marrow's voice was warm and fond. My knight in shining armor. My Hamish. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I thank the gods every day that you fell into my life. You said earlier that you didn't wake me up to randomly say I love you again. A serious discussion, you said. Marrow's lips tightened as he braced himself. You're afraid. I'm not. I'm afraid. Hamish looked up sharply. Marrow continued. Things have moved so quickly in the last few years. When I first met you, you were in a lonely, miserable place. And I was still trapped in that hell house, still trying to shake off all the hooks my father had in me. Marrow flashed him a soft smile. And now here we are, just a few years after we fell into each other's lives. We're free, but still afraid. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm not afraid, but you are. I can see it in your eyes. We're both lonely and desperate when we first met. Now we're neither. And every day I look into your eyes and see you bracing for the day I finally leave for greener pastures. Sorry, y'all. Hiccups. Hiccups and coughs. Goodness. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay. A bittersweet chuckle escaped Marrow's throat. Meanwhile, every day I wake up with you at my side, wondering what I ever did to deserve you. The most patient and caring man in the world. And I'm afraid. How can such a wonderful man ever love a miserable whelp like me, if he isn't desperate and lonely? Marrow. The larger hyena pressed another firm kiss to his hand, his gaze fixed firmly on Hamish with a warm, loving smile. I wanted to talk about us because I need you to know that I love you. Not because I'm desperate or lonely or afraid. Because you're the man I chose to spend the rest of my life with, if you'll have me. There was a long pause and then a quiet sniffle. You are either the sappiest, most overdramatic man I've ever met. Is that a yes? Obviously, you big oaf. Marrow smiled softly as he pulled his lover close in a warm embrace. They held each other for the longest minutes of their lives as they felt the other's heartbeat thumping through their chest. You're still afraid. Yeah. Me too. It's not that. I believe you, I really do. With all my heart, but you can't just wash away fear with pretty words. I know. I didn't expect to instantly fix everything with a few pretty words. But there's something else. Cole felt his father's grip around his crystalline form tighten as he was lifted upward. What's this? An arcane crystal? I thought you swore off having anything to do with magic. Well, yeah, but this is different. This is for us. It's a crystal doohickey that I stole from one of my sister's research colleagues. It's supposed to allow any two people to have a child together. Hamish let out a splutter of disbelief. A child? Yeah, even us. You just give the crystal a bit of blood from both parents and it'll create a baby from it. But without needing to sit in the oven for like 9 months. Are you serious? Marrow, you just talked about how quickly we're moving and then you suggest we have a kid? Do you not want to? There was a slight crack in the older hyena's voice. Hamish hesitated. Of course I do, but like this? People start families when they feel ready. I don't want to have a kid just because we're both insecure about ourselves. We can't lean on a literal child to fix our own faults. We won't be. Here we are, two loving people vowing to share their lives together. What better way to commemorate that beyond words than having a baby together? Thank you, Neil. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back in. Are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself? This won't be just about us anymore. We need to raise this kid right, and the two of us know fuck all about being good parents. I, for one, think you'll be a wonderful dad. The kid will love you. You'll pass on that massive noggin of yours, and I'll teach him how to become the greatest warrior in the land. Excitement filled Marrow's voice as he prattled on and on. Can you imagine it? The Bonebreaker Guild, led by our glorious little family. Marrow Bonebreaker and his beloved Hamish, with our brilliant kid at our side. People are going to be talking about us for years. Marrow. I can imagine the horror on my old man's face when he hears his least favorite child living his best life. Marrow. What do you think our kid will be like? Probably squirrely and quick on his feet like his dad's. We'll probably have to childproof the entire guild for a few years and keep all the weapons away from the... Okay, that's a big reveal. Oh, shit. That I did not expect. Okay. Merrick O'Shaughnessy. Marrow froze. Hamish was quiet as he gently plucked the crystal out of his hands and cradled it gently in his palms. Is this because your father always said you're a stain on the family? Is that what this is all for? To prove him wrong? What? No, this is for us, Hamish. I want this for us. Marrow's voice rose unconvincingly. This has nothing to do with him. We're better than we were. We're better than where we came from. And I know for a fact we'd be great parents. We could be a family. Marrow reached out and cupped Hamish's hands in his own. The younger hyena didn't meet his gaze. Marrow swallowed hard. If you think it's too soon or don't want to do it at all, we don't have to. I just wanted you to know that I'm here to stay. That's all. This is for us. I hate this music isn't copyright. Let's do it. Huh? I agree. Let's do it. Hamish nodded, his voice as firm as he could muster. But there it was again. The fear, staining his voice and lingering in the back of his eyes like a malignant parasite. Marrow could see it as clear as day and felt his heart bleed with shame. If he were a better man, he would step away at that very moment. Call it off. Take more time to consider. That traitorous voice in the back of his mind muttered, wouldn't that make it worse? Wouldn't stepping away feed into Hamish's fear even more? And this was his proclamation of love, his promise to stay. This was for us. And so, in that moment of weakness, Merrick O'Shaughnessy nodded and agreed. Later that afternoon, in the bedroom of the Bonebreaker Guild, two hyenas nervously dripped their blood onto the stolen arcane crystal. The crimson mixed together, soaking through the crystalline form as magic, decades in the making, was set into motion. In a flash, an arcane radiance flooded the room, blinding the two hyenas as threads of light and flesh wove together around the crystal like a tapestry of life. Cole was suddenly aware. His eyes were sealed shut, his ears twitching at unfamiliar sounds. His skin felt warm against the warm blanket beneath him. Soon the light faded. In its place was a tiny, crying infant shivering on the bedroom table. Cole's first true sensation was his father's warm, trembling hands carefully wrapping around his delicate body and lifting him up. Aww. Oh, Hammy. He's got your little eye spot. Cole blinked and a single gurgle escaped his gummy mouth. The faces looking back at him broke out into tender laughs. Hamish reached out and gently held Cole's little paw between his fingers. He smiled and cooed quietly at his newborn son. Precious little guy, isn't he? Hey, buddy. This is your dad, Marrow. Can you see him? Cole's crying had faded, replaced with soft giggles as he leaned into the warm embrace of his father's hands. Marrow's expression melted into a puddle of wistful joy. Hey there, little fella. Little Cole. I'm your dad. Marrow repeated the words, as though not truly believing them. I'm your dad. His one good eye blinked away tears as he took in the sight of his son. This new life, this untarnished innocence he and his beloved brought to the world, now giggling happily in his hands. You know what? Him being an O'Shaughnessy actually now makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All the signs are there. His hatred of mages. He looks a bit like Calder, to be honest, in my opinion. The hyena's grip tightened around the newborn child, as though frightened of letting go. Marrow glanced towards Hamish, who was too enraptured by Cole's little hiccups to notice his apprehension. The man who vowed to stay with him for the rest of his days. The man who agreed to raise a child with him, despite everything. The joy in his heart trembled, marred by the stain of shame and fear. Marrow was an idiot. All the pride and ego that had brought him to this decision twisted inside his gut like an angry knot. What was he thinking, insisting on having a child in such haste despite Hamish's pleadings? Rambling about what he wanted his son to be before he was even born, and pulling on that thread of fear in Hamish's heart to convince him. Marrow could feel his father's hooks tear painfully against his insides, and he wanted to retch. He glanced at the smiling face of his son. Fear and realization seeped across every inch of the older hyena's skin like ice. Marrow was going to ruin him. He was going to ruin his son just like everything else. He bit his cheek and inhaled sharply. No, falling apart wouldn't help anyone. Now was not the time for regrets. He was a father now. This wasn't just about him anymore. Marrow Bonebreaker shoved his fear aside and stared up at the little bundle of joy in his hands. His face softened into a determined smile. My son. My darling boy. You're gonna grow up to be the happiest little nugget in the world, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the dad you deserve. This, I promise you, my little Colodai Bonebreaker. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Yep, it looks like we have completed the origin of Cole. So we know where Cole came from. I had my hunches and such. Like I said, did not expect Marrow to be an O'Shaughnessy. That came as a surprise to me. But it does make sense in retrospect. Anyway, let me know what some of y'all's extra theories are about what's going on in the story. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!